Check this out. A car slammed into the historic inn on the East End, and the manager tells Newsday this is not the first time it happened. You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Booth. So the manager says this happened 8 times in the last 10 years. Now, this latest crash happened on January 15th. That's when police say an 18-year-old driver was speeding with 3 teenage passengers around 1 a.m. Then, when cops tried to stop the car, the driver took off, missing a turn and crashing into the roughly 150-year-old inn. Now, here's the aftermath of the crash on James Lane. The East Hampton Village mayor says they plan to hire a traffic engineer to study the location to prevent future crashes. And an elementary school teacher was arraigned today after 2 victims accused him of sexual assault decades ago. Macy Eglin has more on this story.
Former teacher Thomas Bernagosi back in court following a grand jury investigation into alleged child sex abuse. The 76-year-old is facing 2 felony charges: sexual conduct against a child and sodomy, which he was arrested for in December and has had a court-ordered GPS ankle monitor since. Following his arraignment, Bernagosi was handcuffed and taken into custody, being held on $300,000 cash bail or $600,000 insurance bond, which his attorney said he planned to post later today. The former Bayshore 3rd grade teacher is accused of molesting 2 victims beginning in 1989 and 1997, one of them just 4 years old at the time. Since his arrest, prosecutors say 30 people have come forward to be interviewed, and 11 of them have been identified as additional victims. Prosecutors say a search warrant executed at his home led to the discovery of thousands of images of children in different formats. They were printed. They said they were found on SD cards and various videos as well. A Newsday investigation revealed Bernagosi is at the center of 45 lawsuits against the Bayshore School District under the Child Victims Act, alleging he abused young boys for decades. The lawsuits claim the district was made aware of the systemic abuse and did nothing to stop it. The school district has countersued Bernagosi and says it will cooperate with police. Bernagosi is facing a maximum of 25 years on both of the felony charges if he's convicted. He has denied the allegations. Reporting in Riverhead for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Eglin.
6 Long Island school districts are splitting up $9 million to help get students up to speed after the pandemic slowed them down. Hempstead School District is getting most of the state funding at $5 million, with Freeport in second place at nearly $1.5 million. Now, the cash will go to expanding mental health care access for students, too. And a walkout ceremony was held today for Suffolk County's undersheriff. Kevin Catalina will be the next deputy police commissioner for the Suffolk County Police Department. He will take the place of Rodney Harrison, who is resigning after 2 years on the job. And first in Newsday, a new ride is coming to Adventureland this year. A junior pirate ship will be joining the Farmingdale Park. Now, it will replace the Spinning Cars ride. Adventureland already has a pirate ship ride, though, but that one has a height restriction. The park reopens for the season on March 23rd. All right, let's take a look at your Long Island weather to see how far we are from those sunny days in March. And it doesn't look too bad. Tonight we're in the 30s, tomorrow we're in the 40s. Taking a closer look at tomorrow, though, you see we have some mild temps, but we will have that cloud cover overhead. Make sure to stick with Newsday TV throughout the show to get your 7-day forecast at the end.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
Long Island has seen several intense rainstorms this winter, and with those storms comes floods. Ariel Dollinger has more on what winter floods mean for real estate.
I came downstairs and I was in shock. I mean, my whole basement was flooded. I had about 3 inches of water in here, and I didn't have a pump system in this part of my basement, so it was like a bathtub.
Pat DiOrio is one of many Long Island homeowners surprised by the severity and frequency of flooding caused by winter rainstorms.
We had one in December, too, so that's 3 big flooding and beach erosion events in less than a month.
But how unusual is this?
To see 2 back-to-back is odd, but if the weather pattern doesn't change too much large scale, you'll tend to get the same thing in a given spot over and over.
Dioria called a company that handles water and fire damage to pump the water out of the basement. The company visited twice, and the service cost her almost $2,400.
The guy who came to give me a quote, he couldn't even make it down the block because the water was so high, which is so ironic, you know. 4 guys came, they opened the basement window, they pumped out to the street. More came in the next day, they pumped again, and then they brought in a bunch of fans a couple of days later, and you could see it's dry as a bone.
Homeowners across the island are looking for long and short-term solutions, and every property is different.
I'm going to go to a couple of my neighbors and see how their pump systems work. I just have to figure out what to do if this ever happens again, and it probably will.
So if you're a homeowner on Long Island, what should you know about the ideal location of a house if you're either in a house or looking to buy a house?
Think of Long Island. South Shore is sandy beaches, North Shore is hills in Long Island Sound. And you have the vast place in between. If you want to live near the water, you have to understand, especially South Shore, there is always flooding periodically. It may not be every year, maybe twice in 1 week like this, that will occur. And you have to decide whether that's going to be the factor to keep you living in higher ground.
For Newsday TV, I'm Ariel Dollinger.
Now, to read more about flooding and real estate, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And Long Islanders are spending big bucks to redo nurseries for new babies. Lisa Stefano and Beth Whitehouse have the story you'll see only in Newsday.
From car seats to cribs to high chairs to the latest gadgets and gear. Buying for a baby could be very expensive and quite overwhelming. Don't I know it?
I think you do, Elisa. So I talked to Baby Center, which is a parenting and pregnancy app, about what the average parent spends when they're having a new baby. And they said that getting all of your gear that you need to set up for your child is at least $4,000.
At least.
Yes, and it can go way up from there.
I met Newsday's family writer Beth Whitehouse at A&B Baby in Wantagh, where they have a range of products at different price points. The one thing and the first thing that everyone needs is a car seat because they won't let you leave the hospital without one.
Yes, and what parents should know when they're buying their car seat is that every new car seat has to pass safety standards. So whether you're buying the $250 car seat or the luxurious car seat, you will still have a safe baby.
The most luxurious you'll find here, the Nuna Pippa RX at $399.
People I've talked to have said if you're going to splurge on anything, splurge on your stroller. As opposed to your swing, which you might use for a month and a half, your stroller you're going to be using for potentially years.
Strollers can go up to as high as $1,500.
The average basic stroller is $309. And the baby list and the registry goes on.
You also need a safe place for your baby to sleep, a crib or a pack and play or a bassinet.
Yep.
You need a changing table to change the diapers. You need some place for the baby to relax while you're doing all of this.
Add in nursery decor, a seat to feed the baby or a high chair, somewhere safe to bathe the baby, a baby monitor, a diaper bag, and of course all that goes inside of it, depending on chosen brands and bells and whistles. All you buy for your little bundle of joy can come with a big budget.
Can you picture it? Here we go.
Elisa DiStefano, Newsday TV.
Listen, I have 3 babies and the stroller thing is legit. Do not go cheap on a stroller, use it every day. Now to read more about baby expenses, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
My goal is to entertain, but also to let you into places where the fans can't go. I want to take the readers inside the locker room, inside the heads of the athletes.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us. We leave you now with a look at our 7-day forecast.